This is an open letter to all doctors who prescribe GLP-1 medications from a GLP-1 patient. I pride myself on doing a lot of research, and I've been noticing trends over the last 6 months where people are really needing more help from their doctors. And so that's what this open letter is all about. Starting off strong. When you first meet your patient and you decide that the best course of action is a GLP-1, please encourage your patient to call their insurance company the moment they are done with your appointment. It would be better for them to switch to a different prescription. If, for example, you prescribe Mounjaro, but Ozempic is the only thing that's covered, rather than having to go through the rigmarole of trying to get it at the pharmacy, finding out it's a gajillion dollars. Then they're calling you and they're upset because they can't get their prescription. It's too expensive, right? Let's nip all of that in the bud. Encourage your patients, all of your patients technically, but especially GLP-1 patients, to be active participants in their healthcare. Next recommendation is don't give outdated diet advice that's harmful. Whether you just graduated from medical school 5 years ago, or if you graduated 60 years ago, it does not matter. I do not expect every doctor to be up to date on the most recent nutritional advice, but when it comes to GLP-1s, it's very important that you're not recommending some harmful fad diet or recommending that your patients be under 1,000 calories a day when that's not healthy. So remember, you took an oath to do no harm. Now, I don't expect you to be an expert in nutrition, right? Whether you're a general practitioner or you are an endocrinologist or a cardiologist, I don't expect you to know everything about everything. But it is within your realm of expertise to say, hey, I know of a nutritionist or a dietitian who can assist you, or this is how you contact your insurance company to find one who's covered. And then refer your patients to that nutritionist or dietitian so that they can get the help they need when it comes to nutrition. Let's nip all of this diet culture garbage in the bud. Let's start talking about options that patients have for maintenance and or coming off the meds before they ever get on them. Now, I am seeing a large number of doctors who are telling their patients, hey, you might have to be on this medication for life. And that's perfectly fine. But let's also include some options like, what does maintenance look like? The current recommendation from obesity and endocrine specialists is that your patients are doing 6 months to a year of maintenance dosing so that their body can acclimate and then taper down in dose to then try to come off. Explain this to your patients. Let them know that they're not going to know which camp they fall into until that time comes, but that there are options. You don't just have to automatically assume that you have to be on this medication for life. That's not the case for everyone. Additionally, if you don't plan on prescribing maintenance dosing for your patients, if you just plan on getting them down to a healthy weight or a healthy BMI, whichever you prefer, and then you're going to cut ties and leave them hanging, please let them know up front that that's not something that you're interested in doing, or that you don't believe in maintenance dosing if it's against your religious beliefs, which is the only legitimate answer there. And I might get a little bit snarky here because I feel like doctors just don't want to deal with this, the maintenance portion. And if that applies to you, that's fine. That's okay. You are well within your rights to do that. But be upfront with your patients before they take that first shot so that they can make a plan and move forward accordingly right? So that when they get close to their goal weight, they can find somebody who will prescribe them for maintenance instead of coming to you and getting the rug pulled out from underneath them. Because let's all be honest, that's a dick move. Don't be a dick. Talk to your patients about side effects. Tell them that not everyone has side effects, and a lot of people do. And express to them if you're having issues, if you're having problems, contact you as their doctor. Encourage them to communicate with you so that they're not ending up in an ER with a blockage because they didn't know that they had to immediately get out in front of constipation rather than constantly treating it after the fact. Make sure that your patients know that there are options, prescriptions, whatever you feel comfortable recommending, whether it's over-the-counter items or prescription items. Have fun with it, but just make them aware of it. And if this is not something that you feel like you want to cover extensively in your time that you have to meet with your patients, then put it into a notification, a pamphlet, something, and send it home with them. Explain to your patients that on the lower doses, they may not lose any weight at all. And that's okay. And that's normal. Far too often I see people who are scrambling in these support groups, desperate for help because they're on the lowest dose or the second lowest dose of any of the GLP-1s, and they're not seeing results yet, and they're panicking. And they immediately assume that they are one of the fewer people that are non-responders. Please don't let this be one of your patients. Make them aware ahead of time that it may take them going up to the higher doses in order for them to start seeing results. Start setting realistic expectations with your patients in that very first visit. Explain to them that losing 0 to 2 pounds every week is healthy weight loss, and that they really don't want to be losing more weight than that, because then they're going to start losing muscle. Explain to them that they did not gain this weight overnight, and they're also not going to lose 100 pounds in a month. It would be more realistic to explain to them that an average timeline across patients who need to lose 100 pounds is anywhere from 12 months to 15 months, so that we can set those expectations in the beginning. Explain to your patients why labs every 3 months is important, whether it's a requirement from the insurance company or just something that you recommend as a doctor. Explain to your patients why this is important. I am seeing so many doctors and telehealth companies who are either not requiring labs or they require them once a year, and that's not enough to start to identify key issues that can come up while someone is on a GLP-1. For example, my liver readings were high, and I was able to catch it in one of my 3-month lab sessions with my doctor. We were able to immediately address it and immediately reverse it so that my next round of labs were significantly better. It is so important to communicate to your patients why this is important. And even if their insurance is not using it as a requirement, you as a doctor should be looking out for your patient's best interests. And last, but certainly not least, if you decide that you are no longer or ever going to prescribe GLP-1 medications, please have a specific doctor or doctor's office referral so that you can send your patients who want a GLP-1 to a physician who will prescribe it. Please don't just cold turkey tell your patient that you're not going to prescribe it anymore, or make them come in for an office visit, again, just to take their copay and decide, no, I'm not going to prescribe GLP-1s, you're on your own. Let's have a better relationship with our patients by providing them with more information. Be helpful. You are friends with doctors in your community. You know from talking to your doctor friends when you're out on the golf course who's prescribing GLP-1s and who's not. Refer those patients to those friends of yours so that they can get the help that they need. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you plan to share it with your doctor, or you are a healthcare provider and you found this video helpful, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you're looking for a positive only support group, I've got you covered. Link is in the description box below. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel because I put out new videos every day. And as always, be kind, rewind.